In a tavern down the cobbled road, where the lanterns gleam with a warm, soft glow, the ruby Mad Hatter, with a twinkle in his eye, greets every soul with a heartfelt cry. Welcome to the tavern, pull up a chair, grab a mug of ale. Don't fireball my goddamn tavern, I swear! From fantasy realms to sci-fi fights, we're all just stories in the flickering light. The tables are crowded with tales untold of dragons vanquished and treasures of gold. Retired adventures to which viewers unite, sharing their legends deep into the night. Welcome to the tavern, pull up a chair, grab a mug of ale. Don't fireball my goddamn tavern, I swear! From fantasy realms to sci-fi fights, we're all just stories in the flickering light. There's the elven archer, his bow now hung, a cyber soldier whose last war was won. Wizards and rogues, warriors of old, all trading their yarns as the night unfolds. Welcome to the tavern, pull up a chair, grab a mug of ale. Don't fireball my goddamn tavern, I swear! From fantasy realms to sci-fi fights, we're all just stories in the flickering light. So raise a toast to adventures past. In the ruby Mad Hatter's tavern we found home at last. From the darkest dungeons to the stars so bright, we'll share our dreams in the fire's light. Welcome to the tavern, pull up a chair, grab a mug of ale. Don't fireball my goddamn tavern, I swear! From fantasy realms to sci-fi fights, we're all just stories in the flickering light. We'll share our dreams in the fire's light. Welcome to the tavern, pull up a chair, grab a mug of ale. Oh my goddamn tavern, I swear! From the darkest dungeons to the stars so bright, we'll share our dreams in the fire's light. Welcome to the tavern, pull up a chair, grab a mug of ale. Don't fireball my goddamn tavern, I swear! From fantasy realms to sci-fi fights, we're all just stories in the flickering light.
In the heat of battle when chaos starts to call, I'm the losing with the just have the power to recall. Enemies surround us, the dangers rising higher. The perfect solution, watch them fall. I cast fireball, run to the ground with a flick of my wrist, I'll turn the fire around. I cast fireball, feel the scorching flame in the world of magic. It's my claim to fame. Orcs and goblins, dragons in white. No matter the problem, I've got the fiery knife. When negotiations fail and the talking is done, I raise my hands and unleash the blazing sun. I cast fireball, run into the ground with a flick of my wrist, I'll turn the fire around. I cast fireball, feel the scorching flame in the world of magic. It's my claim to fame. Orcs and goblins, dragons and white. No matter the problem, I've got the fiery light. When negotiations fail and the talking is done, I raise my hands and unleash the blazing sun. I cast fireball, burn them to the ground. With a flick of my wrist, I'll turn the fire around. I cast fireball, feel the scorching flame. In the world of magic, it's my claim to fame. We can kick off fancy spells with charms and tricks. When the battle gets rough, I'll burn them to sticks. With a grin and a chant, I bring the fiery doom. Enemies beware, you'll eat your flame in two. They tell of my renown, the wizard with the fireball who burns it all down. When the chips are down and hope begins to fall, I step up with confidence and give it my all. I cast fireball, burn them to the ground. With a flick of my wrist, I'll turn the fire around. I cast fireball, feel the scorching flame. In the world of magic, it's my claim to fame. So here's the fireball, the spell we all adore. In the hands of wizards, it's the ultimate reward. With a laugh and a shout, I'll light up the night. For I cast fireball and bring the fiery light. You're a battle where the blood and steel collide. There's a fire burning deep and wild inside. There is striking thunder, my fury knows no cage. With a primal roar I scream, I would like to rage. I would like to rage. Feel the power rise. In the heat of battle, see the fear in their eyes. With a heart of fire and strength untamed, I would like to rage in glory unclaimed. Power rise. In the heat of battle, see the fear in their eyes. With a heart of fire and strength untamed, I would like to rage in glory unclaimed. From the frozen tundra to the desert blazing sun, the spirit of the wild within me can't be undone. Through every clash and fury, my spirit will engage. With a primal roar I scream, I would like to rage. I would like to rage. Feel the power rise. In the heat of battle, see the fear in their eyes. With a heart of fire and strength untamed, I would like to rage in glory unclaimed. Rage. From the frozen tundra to the desert's blazing sun, the spirit of the wild within me can't be undone. Through every clash of fury, my spirit will engage. With a primal roar I scream, I would like to rage. With every roar, the ground it quakes. With every strike, the earth it shakes. In the dance of war, I find my stage. In the battle's heart, I would like to rage. Fields of endless conflict, where the brave and mighty fall. I stand a towering figure, unbroken by it all. With the spirit of the berserker, my enemies I'll engage. With a primal roar I scream, I would like to rage. I would like to rage. Feel the power rise. In the heat of battle, see the fear in their eyes. With a heart of fire and strength untamed, I would like to rage in glory unclaimed. So when the call to battle rings out shadows of darkness tremble upon my hand. With the force of nature, my wrath I'll disengage. With a primal roar, I scream, I would like to rage. Evil Ruby, Mad Hatter's life. On Twitch we sail, come join the dive. With games and chat and tales untold. In Ruby's realm let the fun unfold. Oh, Ruby streams with laughter bright. By the glowing screen we set our sight. From fantasy realms to FPS fight, every stream is pure delight. Evil Ruby, Mad Hatter's alive. On Twitch we sail, come join the dive. With games and chat and tales untold. In Ruby's realm let the fun unfold. On the ocean wide in the game raft, we build and float through the stormy draft. Gathering scraps, crafting our craft. In Ruby's stream we share a laugh. Evil Ruby, Mad Hatter's alive. On Twitch we sail, come join the dive. With games and chat and tales untold. In Ruby's realm let the fun unfold. With a hat so mad and a heart so grand, Ruby guides us through this digital land. In the chat we cheer and make us stand for the finest streams in all the land. Evil Ruby, Mad Hatter's alive. On Twitch we sail, come join the dive. With games and chat and tales untold. In Ruby's realm let the fun unfold. So hoist the sails and spread the word. Rubies live, haven't you heard? Join the crew, be undeterred. In the Mad Hatter's world, we all get stirred. Ruby, Mad Hatter's alive. On Twitch we sail, come join the dive. With games and chat and tales untold. In Ruby's realm let the fun unfold. So hoist the sails and spread the word. Rubies live, haven't you heard? Join the crew, be undeterred. In the Mad Hatter's world, we all get stirred. Evil Ruby, Mad Hatter's alive. On Twitch we sail, come join the dive. With games and chat and tales untold. In Ruby's realm let the fun unfold.
Alright. Hey, Addy Bear, thank you for that so much. Alright, rate of 24. Alright, let me give him a shout out real quick. He was playing Football Manager. Now, is that Football Manager like American football, or is that Football Manager, the European football? Fucking soccer. All right, so football, F-U-T ball. Actual football, not hand egg.
Hand egg. I like that.
No, dude, like the German family that I still talk to, that's what they refer to American football as, is hand egg.
I think that's delightful.
Yeah, it's just like, wait a minute, what? Uh-oh, here comes Anne. Never mind. Okay, she's not on her way.
Welcome, traveler.
Not Silly Boys Rugby. Oh my god. Welcome, Kay Karali, to the tavern. Grab yourself a mug of ale, pull up a chair, have fun, and don't fireball my goddamn tavern.
That's not the worst term for that I've ever heard.
Yeah. Not the worst.
By kissing their boo-boos and slapping the bitch who
I've
made the
heard
boo-boo.
Sissy rugby. I've heard.
No goddamn. Hey, I have whiskey here. All right. The whiskey just costs some. All right. I have free ale.
Yeah, if you assholes keep fireballing the tavern, you burn through my supply of it.
Yep. First descendant. No. We have whiskey and other drinks here. The problem is we have a magical item that produces free ale. It never stops producing ale. You should be in bed. Okay. Go. Shoot, babe.
Get to bed, Shorty.
What's that thing?
Not your problem.
Bed.
All right. Go, child.
Shorty. Get your shirt.
Child is not listening very well.
And he does not like being called.
Yeah. All right. So, Kay Carl Lee, you were playing Valorant. For my
against my moral compass.
Your f***ing moral compass is a roulette wheel!
So, for those of you who are playing Valorant, I know uses the Vanguard system. All right.
Found the best way to irritate our children.
I've noticed.
They both hate being called Shorty.
Of course they do.
Go to bed, Shorty.
All right. For those of you, shush. I'm actually playing Dead by Daylight. I'm not sure why it says Valorant. All right, Dead by Daylight's fine. Valorant, not so much. And this is coming from me not saying that the game is shit. This is coming from me saying there is an professional IT issue with Valorant. All right? Stop scaring us. I know, but I have to warn you guys of this stuff because some people don't know. Oh, there's the leftovers from Maddie's raids. It just dropped on console. Spare me for trying it, sir.
What? The fact that they can access your motherboard?
Yeah. The PC info Ruby told me is super relevant. I don't know about console. All right. Yeah, this is relevant for PC. I think if Vanguard gets on the console, it's a different problem, but it's still a similar problem, which is the Vanguard system accesses the computer's or console's motherboard directly. So it gets into your BIOS, which is the motherboard, and consoles have BIOSes too. They just have their own unique one. The problem is if someone hacks Vanguard, let's go. Hope you have a good thing. As Big Smoke would say, all you have to do is follow the damn train, CJ. Oh my god, that quest was so annoying back in the day. Gamera, I don't think you ever had to deal with it, did you?
Doesn't ring a bell.
Grand Theft Auto 4?
Oh, I've never played Grand Theft Auto.
Okay. Yeah, Grand Theft Auto 4, there was a mission where you were on a dirt bike or motorcycle or something, and you had a rather rotund gentleman on your back who slowed down your damn bike. All right? And you had to follow a train. The problem is this mission was so poorly coded that you would fail it 9 times out of 10. Yeah, it was San Andreas. It was poorly coded. And so every time you failed a mission, Big Smoke would just yell, all you had to do was follow the damn train, CJ! And it was like, you heard it constantly. You're like, I'm just gonna shoot the fat man. Just fuck him in particular. Yeah, Kara, yeah, that's what I was talking about. I wasn't talking about the community being toxic. That's in every game. That's not a problem. That is not an IT issue. When I say IT issue, I am talking about a technology issue. And Vanguard has that technology whole. So you have to ask yourself a question with any game you play that uses Vanguard. Does your love for that game override your need to keep your information safe? Because at that point, if a hacker gets into Vanguard, they have complete access to your computer. There is nothing you can do to stop them. It's gone. You can call me Charlie, by the way. Okay, cool. No problem, Charlie. Big Smoke gave millions of people PTSD. Yeah, that's true. And, what was it? Grand Theft Auto 3 Vice City gave people PTSD with remote helicopters. Because that was a fucking thing. I don't know. Alright. Oh my god. Okay, let's see. Not the remote helicopter. Yes, not the remote hel... So, Gamera, in Grand Theft Auto 3, you were set in, like, Miami, okay?
Okay.
You were put in charge of one mission of grabbing a remote helicopter, picking up explosives, and dropping them into a construction area to kind of destroy the construction area. The problem is, this helicopter has little to no health, and for some fucking reason, all the construction workers have guns. Because that's a fucking thing, apparently.
Interesting.
It's like this is the most well-guarded construction site on Earth.
I'm surprised by how many construction workers actually carry weaponry on site.
There's a difference, Han, between them carrying like a pistol, you know, maybe a knife or something. Some of these assholes were carrying assault weapons.
Have you ever been in Texas?
This was in Florida, but
Which
yeah,
part?
A fictional town called Vice City.
I was going to say in Florida it would be assault weapons and bath salts.
Bath salts, yeah, that's true. Florida Man is a thing. I have learned that the legends of Florida Man have also gone outside the U.S.
Of course.
My relatives have heard of Florida Man, but they've also, apparently, there are legends of West Virginia men. and the stories are frighteningly similar. But instead of, you know, bath salts, it's, you know, moonshine. No, it's moonshine. Most of the stories found were moonshine. It was a little wild. I was like, what the hell? Alright. So we got a couple announcements before we get into me showing off the gameplay. So please keep that in mind, everyone. And I apologize, some of them may seem boring, but they have to be done. Yep. Announcement number 1 is our sponsors. We have Shotgun Gaming Servers. The link is down below. Please check out that link. It will lead you to a wonderful website that does a bunch of gaming servers. 7 Days to Die, Skyrim Together, all that jazz. Hibernator, welcome to the tavern. Grab yourself a mug of ale, pull up a chair, have fun, and don't fireball my tavern. But yeah, check out Shopify Gaming Servers. They're definitely worth it. We use them all the time. The other sponsor is W Energy Drinks. If you use the code RubyMadHatter, you get 10% off your entire purchase. And trust me, they're worth it. They have caffeinated and non-caffeinated versions. Other than that, we still are taking entries for Stellaris Eterna Season 3. So if you want to make a sci-fi faction for Candid Gamera and I to run into, make friends with, kill, or have them kill us, by all means, use that. Elite, AK Smiley, and we got Hibernator as well. Where is that? What's up? Not much. What up, fellow VTuber? That makes me feel like I should be the one with the little skateboard. And what was the actor's name that does that meme?
Steve Buscemi.
Yeah, Steve Buscemi. It's like, what's up, fellow VTubers? Because that's how old I feel some days. Some of the people who contacted me about VTubing stuff, they're like 14, 15.
Yeah.
I feel fucking old.
Well, you know. Sometimes there's a reason for that.
You're no longer young.
Yeah, I know I'm no longer young, but I didn't think I felt old.
Pushing 40.
I know I'm pushing 40. Oh my
Good
god.
to know I'm not the only one.
Yep. But yeah, Stellaris Eterna Season 3 is the thing we're doing. So there is that. And Inquisition's here. Alright, top left. Here we go. Pull up the game. Where we left off in Baldur's Gate 3 was I'm fighting off a drow and her goblins. I'm saving for a good PC before I do VTubing. Did you create your own? No, I have the artistic skills of a quadriplegic brick. All right, my art skills are horrifyingly bad. I can draw maps decently, but as soon as I go to draw on grid paper, mind you, but I can still draw maps on grid paper.
Oh boy.
But as soon as I go anywhere near freeform, my shit looks horrifyingly bad. Let me see if I can't find my last piece of artwork, because I've actually saved it. That is what should frighten you. As soon as my external drive realizes that it needs to be talked to. What program was my guy made on? I don't know what he was made on. I'm using VC Face to use him, though. So, yeah. I'm not sure. Give me a second. All right. So I have a picture. Give me a second. Because this was one I did with pencils, color pencil, and marker. Because I just used whatever I had around me.
Is this the wings thing?
The wing thing, yeah.
What?
Yeah, this took me 2 weeks to do. This
2
took
weeks?
2 weeks at work. Because this was back when I was working night staff.
Right.
So between the it was 4 hours a day for 5 days a week.
Huh.
What program do I use to VTube? Right now it's VC Face. I can type it real quick. VC Face. Here you go. But this is what I did. This was back in 2015, 2016. And this was for Amp Guard when I used to do that a lot. The only thing that came out really nice on it, I feel, is the wing. But I feel like I could have probably done better. But yeah, that is my last bit of artwork I've ever done. And probably never doing it again, because I am not good at it. Alright, so now I have to deal with her, and she has a problem. But I can do this. I get all of them. Nope. Alright, so I guess I'll go with you guys. Cloud of daggers. Oh, she kept concentration. That's poopy. Alright. I don't know either of those programs. Like, AK, I am still relatively new at this. And goddammit, he broke my concentration. Alright. Can I jump? Yes. We're gonna jump there. And... I used up my bonus action. Okay. Well, we're gonna say hi to you. Let's try Reckless. Yep. God damn it, she still kept her concentration. I need to break that concentration.
Big damage attacks.
Yeah, I know. I'm working on it. My barbarian I was hoping would succeed, but apparently did not. Alright, let's
Well,
see.
you might say your barbarian wasn't barbarian enough.
Oh, that hurts. Yep. And that covers that. Alright, we got Charlie. Yeah, but no, AK, I don't know either of those two programs. I'm sorry. I'm still relatively new at being a VTuber. I will say that.
No.
Yeah, I swapped to VTubing because I have 2 children, and the last thing I need is for them to be on camera doing something stupid and getting me banned.
Phase of them hating clothing.
Okay. Alright, so, gentlemen, would you like to know what today's first topic is?
Sure.
Yes.
Manipulating wishes.
Oh, I have a good story for this one.
Yep. Now,
Excellent.
now, mind you, people in the audience, there is a 100 gold coin redeem that you can give us a wish, and we will corrupt that wish. Just a heads up. I am at work. Okay, Andrew woman, that's fine. And I understand you'll probably have to work. Alright, that's 40%, that's 40%, 60, what about you, 55? I guess I could do that.
So,
What about... Nope. Alright, go ahead, Inquisition.
Corrupting wishes is so easy.
well, if either one of you want to go forward with how you corrupted the wish first, I would be happy to listen.
Okay.
You got one,
I
Gamer?
mean, I'm trying to think of specific ones. I think I developed a reputation early on with most of the people who game with me that they know that if they try to do something shitty with a wish, I'm going to come down on them. I'm going to think about it, and I'm going to find the way that it fulfills what they said to the letter, but fucks with them. So it's been a long time since I've had a player really try to go like balls to the wall with a wish. And if they're doing something like, hey, I wish that we were all healed, or if it's like, hey, I don't have the spell, but I've got wish, I'm going to use wish to substitute for the spell, I'm not going to mess with that. That's just mean.
Oh yeah, naturally.
But I think in my last Pathfinder game, they literally did have like a ring of wishes with a wish in it that they never used because they just didn't want to risk what I would do to them. I guess, you know, always having that as kind of a hole card in case you need to really pull the ripcord on it and get yourself out of a sticky situation ain't a bad idea.
Well, the one I have involves what would be a good name to use here because we're online.
Is a gentleman who starts with R?
Yes, Mr. Salarius.
Yeah, Savarius.
Now, this sounds like a genuinely good wish until you think about it. So, I'll give you the brief description. Royal family loses a son in a war.
They can corrupt the wishes while still keeping to the letter of the wish.
You were saying?
I like that idea, actually. Thank you, Anne. I'm going to try and use that.
I'm kind of rolling shit
Anyway.
here.
So, Salvarius decides, I will bring the heir to the throne back from the dead. I got really specific with a certain Catman, and I stated, I need to know exactly what you mean by back from the dead. Be more specific.
Uh-huh.
And his exact words were, well, he died, so I want to bring him back just before the killing blow was landed.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Yes.
That is
Ah,
horrifying,
man. That's
he
a
brought him
rookie
back.
mistake.
Not only that, but he brought him back in the throne room where his parents were, his sister, who went from being the heir to now the spare.
Uh-huh.
Finally broke concentration.
He immediately started attacking everyone under the assumption this was some sort of illusion spell that had been cast on him, and nobody was what they actually looked like.
I mean, that's a reasonable take.
Yeah.
gets better. He actually got into a full-on fight with his sister, roaring and shouting, "How dare you wear the face of my sister? What's next? You gonna tell me my younger brother survived the battle?"
Uh-oh.
Would you like to guess who walked into the room?
His younger brother.
Yes! I just kept making this worse and worse. And he was in such a huge freak-out state that when everybody tried to calm him down, nothing worked. It took Salvarius to literally tackle him and hold him on the ground for 4 minutes before the guy realized, "Oh, you would have killed me by now if this was an illusion."
Yep. It's going well, by the way, Chicken Lady. Hopefully your night is going well, going good as well. I think I've attracted every goblin in this whole fucking encampment. So this could be a problem. Well,
As you would imagine, the former heir, now the spare, was really fond of Salvarius for a while.
oh, that hurt. Oh, this is gonna be bad.
Alright, Eris.
We'll go that way.
And unfortunately, the heir was politely informed, "You're not the heir anymore."
I mean, yeah.
I mean, that's fair.
I mean, he did try to attack everyone, including his sister and younger brother. Which, had he just tried to attack his sister, that would have been fine. However,
Karlak, it's go time.
I'm trying to think what I can and can't say so as not to get you in trouble.
That's fair. Come on, hit. There we go.
The younger brother was kidnapped by an enemy nation and tortured severely. Kind of unendingly.
Oh man. What is with everybody wanting to target Will today? That's really weird.
So, you know, when Daddy Dearest saw the youngest son who he got back and who survived being tortured for 4 months straight, getting attacked by his elder brother suddenly back from the dead, he went, no, I don't want you leading my nation anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet that was something that the party came to regret a little bit.
Well, I have another story.
I just paid like the face hugger sound.
This is a great opportunity for slaughter.
Ah,
So it's like,
isn't she the one that told you to get rid of it repeatedly?
yes.
Huh.
Go figure. I think she wants to be the sole torturer.
You guys haven't taken out any extra life insurance on you lately, have you?
Not that I know of.
Oh, that's a good point.
You should look into that, you know.
Yeah. Alright.
But yeah, hopefully, you know, they didn't mind too much with the result was that they had the original guy back. You know, seems like nobody died in that mess. So, all in all, came out okay.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? The spare was a party member.
Ah,
And out of character, she came to me and went, "Wait, does this mean I'm no longer heir to the throne?"
I mean, technically, yes.
Well,
All I
until-
did, like, I remember saying, look, you and I can talk about this, but I can't tell you how or what will happen. You'll have to wait for game night to see what happens.
Yeah.
So we spent like a good half hour where I was just trying to be like, look, don't worry about it. You're going to stay the air, but I can't tell you how or in what way.
fair.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair.
I mean, I have another story that I'll share with both of you offline.
Okay.
As I bring this one up here, you'll definitely get problems, Ruby.
Oh,
Oh,
fun
oh
times
dear.
there.
So I will circle back a little bit and mention that the most recent time that I have presented my party with the option for wishes was in my Call of Cthulhu game,
Oh, that's
where
not good.
they came to make the acquaintance of an immortal genie thing. And I say genie thing because it wasn't the traditional presentation of a genie. It was essentially like a brass box. When opened, it would kind of conjure this horse-like spirit, this black nightmare, like with smoke kind of pours around it, that can communicate telepathically with anybody. And what they had learned was that their predecessors, because the way I'm running the game, they are the successors to an occult investigation group that was active in London, and they're the new incarnation. And they learned that the previous guys had dealt with this genie. They found it in the hands of some smugglers. The way the genie works is you have to sacrifice something to get the wish. The more you sacrifice, the bigger the wish it can grant. But if you want it to grant your heart's desire, then it becomes something truly momentous that you have to sacrifice. So the original group had gotten this out of the hands of the smugglers, and the problem was that they knew that this genie could cause horrible things. It's implied in my setting that it was responsible for the downfall of Atlantis. Like, the reason Atlantis sunk was because the ruler of Atlantis brought back their dead lover using this genie, and within 10 years Atlantis was, gone.
Ooh, hey.
So they knew that it was high stakes, but the previous group, one of the members, had made a bargain with the genie, which is essentially the essence of a wish, the bargain. And he basically had bargained with the genie such that it could not make any more bargains with anybody unless they were a member of this organization. So only the party members and the few other survivors of the original group could be responsible for making a wish with this genie. However, they knew because of a little time travel incident that someone was going to, and they were going to cause a horrible future in which England was getting ready to go to war with America, where the monarch on the throne had been corrupted by occult powers. It was just basically an apocalypse scenario. And so they knew that it was either one of them or one of the few NPCs that still had belonged to the organization. And they were trying to figure it out and trying to figure it out. But of course, it was trying to tempt them into making any little bargain. Because what they didn't know was that the bargain it had struck with the guy was that the next wish it would grant had to come from the organization, not forever. So as soon as it would grant one wish from anybody in the organization, it was free. It could bargain with anybody again.
Oh, jeez.
But they refused to engage, and they managed to dispose of the genie in a clever way. And honestly, like, I had ideas in my head how they were supposed to deal with this. Like, I thought, okay, they can use magic to seal the genie away so nobody can get to it, etc., etc., etc. But the way they had learned about this dark future is that there was literally somebody who had come back through time to tell them about it. There was a little time portal that he'd used, and they could communicate with him. So, as they were kind of talking through the possibilities, and this is maybe more on me than them, but kind of a mix of both, I suddenly realized, oh shit, if they put the genie's box through that time portal and put him into that future, then that future can never exist because it won't be here to grant the wish, and therefore it will be in a timeline that no longer exists, destroying the genie. And so what I said out loud, kind of like, oh, I just realized a way you could fix this. And I think that kind of put them like, oh, maybe there's a clever solution. And one of my players did like, hey, if we put him in the time portal... So they essentially, basically hoist the genie by his own petard and, put him in this dark future, which meant that dark future could never exist, and it just vanished in a puff of paradox. So,
As I was trying to tell you, there are no
love
bullets
that.
left in this
It
gun.
was
See?
don't like to do
great.
Your f***ing moral compass is a
I don't like to do time travel stuff often, but I had to do just a little bit.
Observation.
Yeah, it was
This
fun.
is a great opportunity for slaughter.
I'm sorry, Support Queen, that you lost your streak. I don't know how that happened. And welcome, Spyro. Okay. It says he's playing no game. Can I please make that jump? Yes, thank God.
2 steps at a time.
Thank you, Will. Gee, or gods, that was annoying. We gotta get rid of all of the... Oh, shit! That's a warg! Don't mind why I have an extra 7 in my name. That's fine. They're constantly hitting me with shit, so I'm gonna back off here. Wolf. Okay, that's 50, 60. For me, the game that I've messed with someone's wish was I had a power gaming player back in the day. And this guy was really bad about it. And the party itself got their hands on a scroll of wish. Now, the intention of this scroll, and the party knew this intention because they were gunning for this scroll for this very reason. Their intention was, hey, we have to fight something with a divine rank. And this is, by the way, back in 3.5, where divine ranks were really fucking brutal.
Yeah.
So they're like, we have to fight something with a divine rank. We're going to use the Scroll of Wish to remove that creature's divine rank for a week so that we can fight it. And they decided a week just in case it tried to get away and they could catch back up to it or something. Because it was a spellcaster.
Right. And
everybody in the party, for the most part, had agreed. They're like, yeah, this is a good idea for this. We can easily track down a wizard in a week. If, when we engage him, we fight him. If he teleports away, we can track him down in a week and kill him. So this guarantees our victory. The power gaming player in question was playing a rogue assassin. And he used a wish to not give him... how do I put this? Essentially to give himself a divine rank power, but without a divine rank. Which was... His wish was, I always want to critical on every attack.
Okay.
But it didn't give him technically divine rank. That's just a divine rank power, essentially.
Right.
And he did that, and he stole the scroll from the person who had the scroll, and he used use magic device to use it, and used that wish on himself. In the process of doing that, here's where I screwed him over. I did give him what he wanted. He will critical every attack. That includes botched attacks on himself. And I basically said, yes, you will critical every hit. And I waited for him to roll the next one, and he goes, he's tried to use one of his powers to, his feats or abilities to say, oh, I get to reroll once. I'm like, no, you don't. He goes, what do you mean? I go, your divine power. You automatically critical every attack. You just attacked yourself. And the magic weapon he had was... Shush.
Can I have Stardew Valley?
Later. Ask mommy later, okay?
It's on the computer.
Anyway, the weapon he had was called a triple strike dagger. Which is every time you make an attack, and whatever the result of the roll is, it does the damage of your attack 3 times.
Right.
And that includes sneak attack.
That's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous. It is a busted weapon.
Yep.
Alright? Now, mind you, when it was written for a particular campaign setting where, like, how do I put this? The campaign story did not involve rogues too heavily. And they wrote this dagger not to be necessarily used by a rogue itself, because the dagger was in the hands of an NPC in the original story. So basically bad writing.
Well, also, I think that normally you wouldn't get to triple sneak attack damage, so...
Yeah.
No, knock it off.
Later on, I understood that, but in this case, he got to do that. But he triple sneak attack damage on himself.
Yep.
And
he went pop.
He went pop. There was no way to stop it. He was dead. And oh my god, was he lividly pissed.
I mean, I understand. He should be a little pissed at himself.
No.
But I imagine he was pissed at you.
Yeah. No, this is a guy that fully believed that, how do I put it? He was God's gift to Earth.
Ah, yes.
And he power gamed, like, massively. It was constant, it was all the time happening, and it frustrated the never-ending hell out of me.
Naturally.
Today, you fool.
He did not last long in my games. After that game, he tried playing in another one. And then shortly after that, he got banned from my games. And the reason why he got banned was he... How do I want to put this? Attempted to engage in adult activities. Not at game, mind you. But with a married woman. With both her and her husband in the game.
Yeah.
And I was like, get the fuck out. I was done. It's like, you're bringing your personal bullshit into my game. I don't want to be dealing with this. Go. Like, I don't like you enough already. This is just literally the straw that broke the camel's back.
Survival is all that matters.
Yep.
To this day, he has claimed that every girl I've ever dated in the area, he has also slept with while they were dating me.
Sure.
I'm like, wow. And all that jazz. Like, he is just a king douchebag.
Oh, yeah.
I have a slight problem. The bridge is out. And I can't jump the gap.
Uh-oh.
I don't know how I'm supposed to fix that. Let's see what we got. Blur, slow, speak with dead. Protection from good and evil, speed. Maybe potion of speed?
I mean, speed could theoretically make your jump distance better.
That's what I'm thinking. I didn't want to have to use it, but you know what? And I'll wait until next turn for that. Where's the next person? Oh, there you are. Let's head that way. Apparently, my spiritual weapon is climbing a ladder.
Fuck yes.
Alright.
Well, I mean, technically speaking, if you hold the ladder just right, it can be quite the weapon.
Yeah, I mean, Jackie Chan, he's quite good with a ladder.
He's quite good with a lot of things.
True.
That gentleman is the king of just grabbing random shit and just making it work. And I love him for it.
Yep.
Alright. So we have to collect all the loot because we killed a bunch of people. Oh my god. I'm gonna have to put Karlak in charge for a moment because I need her for, jumping this gap. But yeah, that was like
superior strength.
Yeah, that was my like best example of me ever corrupting someone's wish.
Yeah.
Is because I let him hoist himself on his own petard. Now mind you, like, his brokenness was partially due to, I will admit, my inexperience.
Yeah.
But at the same time, well, that inexperience, you know, stabbed him in the back too.
Yeah, I mean, once you had ruled that it does affect sneak attack damage, then yeah, the follow-up ruling is perfectly reasonable.
Yeah. It was just like, oh, like, I messed up. I don't have any bards. This is a light armor, so I want to send that to... Where are you? Will. I feel like that's probably going to be better for Will. Because he is the rogue, after all. 11. Yeah, that's better. It looks weird on him. I'm not used to it being on a male character, because every time I've seen it, it's been on a female character. But, split item. I will say, for suggestions on corrupting a wish, my suggestion is always, like, think about what would make the wish still be successful. But at the same time, like, realize that you want to slightly twist it.
Yeah, and like I said, I'm much more likely to not twist or lessen a twist if they're not trying to overreach. If they try to break my game, I will break them. I will break the player.
Yeah, it's just, fuck you in particular. You're gonna have a very, very bad day. Alright. Alright, let's see what we're gonna get now. I feel like we've done that. Dun 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 dun. Alright. Types of players.
Sure.
So the various what I would call categories of players. Like, I feel like each one of us should give an example, and then we just keep going round robin, so that way one person's not talking for like half an hour.
Well, maybe we can start by, you know, what kind of players we see ourselves as.
That could be good. Or at least one category we fall into.
Okay.
Because I feel like I fall into like several categories. And so that's why. So, there are negative and positive type players. One of the positive types I fall into is the tactician. Which is, I look at the battlefield and I try to figure out what is the best choice I can make in this fight.
Sure.
Alright. Based on what my character knows.
Right.
So that is, like, always important to me. Things of that nature. Trying to think what else I want to say that as... it's hard to think. But yeah, the tactician is the type of player that they'll think about themselves. They'll be like, what can I do to help this situation? What can I... They're similar to the optimizer, which I'll go over later. But the skill set very much goes hand in hand with the two. But they always focus on themselves in that role, not others. Now, if someone asks for advice, the tactician will often give advice. They'll say, hey, if it was me, I would be, doing X.
What to do?
Makes sense.
And that is the tactician. All right. So how about you, Gamera?
I would say that I am also of the tactician ilk, but I think I define it just a tiny little bit differently. I'm not necessarily thinking about just what I can do. I am thinking about what the rest of the party can do, but I'm not necessarily going to volunteer that. So it's just a little different, I guess, in context from what you were talking about.
Okay.
It's like, we need to lock down this guy, and this is our caster, and if we focus fire this guy, and I've got the game plan running in my head, like, if we want to have our best chance, we need to do this. And so, yeah, if someone is, like, really hesitant and kind of trying to figure out, I might start saying, like, well, this guy is, likely, on his last legs. If we take him down, that's one less opponent. Maybe start offering some suggestions, but I try to be very careful not to be overbearing with that. You don't want to play someone's character for them.
Right.
In terms of what I actually enjoy about the game, I am I wouldn't necessarily say just optimizer, but I do like the mechanics of a game. Like, I like the nuts and bolts. I like to see parts of the game move. Does it do something really interesting or weird? I want to see that in action. So, in Magic the Gathering terms, it puts me as a Johnny Combo player.
All right, give me 1 second. Welcome, Dragon Rose 24 to the tavern. Grab yourself a mug of ale, pull up a chair, have fun, and don't fireball my goddamn tavern. And thank you for the 10 bits for Biddy the Owlbear. He's going to play with us for a while and probably eat them later. And there goes Faye Fox fireballing the damn tavern. Alright. With you saying that in that regard, I would label that as the mechanic or the tinkerer.
Yeah.
You kind of want to tinker with the rule set. You want to mess with it and tweak it and see what you can do with it and see where you can go with it while still being within the rules.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I don't really see that as tinkering so much as exploring the rule set is the difference. Because I'm not actually changing anything. But I guess this is just a semantics discussion, really.
Yeah, I mean, same thing there. All right. Inquisition. How about you, buddy?
Oh, I'm well aware of what I am in games. Chaotic lunacy.
Okay.
I don't know if this is a negative trait or a positive one.
It's both.
Okay, so I will tell you the story of Muna. Long story short, he should have died, but his friends brought him back to life. Now, they did this by heavily turning him into a cyborg. To the point, he was so much of a cyborg that he no longer really had internals.
Right.
This slowly started driving him nuts. Am I still human? Am I more than human? Am I less than human?
Classic.
Now, before he died and was brought back, I made a direct point of having Muna be this insane fighter who tries stupid stuff in battle just to see if it would work. For example, I ran up full speed. Muna was a very fat man. And I had Muna shouting, "Choo, fat man coming through," as he ran up to an armored tank, which had one big piece of armored plexiglass. He rammed his backside into the glass, smashed it, and went right through it.
Making my move.
Upon landing inside the tank, he turned to the commander and went, "I was thrown." The commander went, "We're getting out of here. Leave." No.
Oh god. Oh my god.
And like that's the entertaining side of it, because he would do these wild crazy things in battle, but out of battle I turned to a few people, and like one of them was having a religious crisis because their quote unquote god would always show up whenever he was in mortal danger or on the verge of death. And I just had to turn to him and go, "So wait, even though we're in a galaxy, the man in the armor always manages to find you. Is that right, Talgor?" And Talgor's just like, "Yes, he always finds me." And Muna just went, "Well, how do you know he didn't get lost trying to find you this time?"
Oof.
Suddenly, Talgor was up going, "I must find the man in the armor!" And running, trying to find the man in the armor with no clue where the man in the armor was, how to find him, or why he kept showing up to save him.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So, I tend to play the character that's chaotically insane when it comes to battle, but has a way of reassuring people. So, like I said, chaotic.
Okay.
Alright, so I will go with my first negative one.
Okay.
And that is, I would call it the general, which is, remember the tactician and how I talked about it and what it does?
Yeah.
The general is the one that tells other players what to do. And
yeah, that is the dark side.
That is the dark side, and I do that on occasion. I try my best not to do that. I really do. But sometimes with extremely newer players, that habit does come out.
Yeah.
And it's a downside I need to work on, and I always keep working on it. But the dark side of tactician is that, hey Cal, I'm here lurking. No problem. I appreciate the lurk.
I must depart. It is almost 1 o'clock in the morning, and I need to be up early.
Yes.
Get some sleep,
Rest
my
well,
friend.
sir.
No, FF8. No, that's tomorrow, Wise.
But yes, the general basically trying to run everything at the table, and you know, you have to watch yourself. If you're a person that's thinking about, okay, how do we get through this fight? You want to say, oh man, this needs to happen, and this needs to happen, and this. But you can't just be like, all right, I'm in charge. You do this. You do this. You do this. You can politely ask, like, hey, Warlock, do you think you can take out this guy? You know, but you always have to be letting people play their characters, because otherwise they're not going to have fun, and then they're going to drop out of the group.
Yep, and that is a problem. And that is something I try. Like I said, I try my best not to do. And it is a downside. So how about you, Gamera? Let's see. Do you have a negative player type?
Let me think. I would say that I can be an overthinker. So like I like to see all the angles, both like mechanically and in the plot, and you know, I'm doing all this stuff to try and get something. But the downside of that is I tend to overanalyze, which can turn into analysis paralysis. So it's like, I have an idea what's going on here. It could be A, B, or C, but if I go on the assumption that it's B and it's actually C, then we're really fucked. So, you know, trying to find that optimal solution that, you know, covers our bases and doesn't fuck us over, I can get in my own head. that's one, and I don't really know if it's just if there's a name for it. It's just overthinker.
Yeah, I'd say the
And
Overthinker
then-
is a good name for that.
And then, like, the flip side, of course, of the doing interesting things with the rules, if you take that too far, it can come off as either A, the power gamer optimizer, if you're doing it for, like, character power, or B, like, you're trying to hammer the rules into the GM, and that's the rules lawyer stereotype. So you can kind of go either way with that direction. You have to be very careful not to veer off. You got to hem that in. So like when I am at my 5e game that a friend of mine is running, and I legitimately think he knows the rules better than I do. So if something happens in the game that's like, I don't think that's what the rules. The way I always couch it is like, is that how that works? Because I thought this, and I'm perfectly prepared to accept whatever he says on the subject, but there are some weird situations in 5e that are ambiguous and still throw me. The rules around invisibility are fucked, for instance.
Oh my god, those are so bad.
So it is, yeah, if you try to take that kind of rules tinkerer or rules explorer too far to self-optimization, or too far into the I need to make sure that the rules function exactly the way they do in the book, then either of those can become problematic.
Agreed. I would say for another character type that's positive, a Wizen said, I tend to focus on numbers than roleplay. I have to make specific efforts to get out of that headspace. So that was a player type I call the analyzer. Alright? Mm-hmm. Which is basically, your brain doesn't see the roleplay that much. Your brain sees all of the numbers of the game, and you want to mathematically just figure them out and work them in your head and create, like, an equation that essentially makes sense to you. So actually, I wouldn't say the analyzer. I called that the mathematician then. Like,
I mean, you focus more on the game than the role playing.
Yeah. So for me, the next one I would say positive is I would call Theater Kid, which has a positive and negative connotation.
It very much does.
When I make a character, I really get into the character. Like, I enjoy the roleplay of it. I very much am just in my character's headspace. And in some cases, that's great because I come up with some very cool, character interactions with the other players. The problem, like, for example, when I played a character named Nar Zincan, alright? I played him...
One should cherish all
oh god, here's Helson covered in gore.
Goblin guts are quite far down the list. You aided a bear without knowing if it would savage you.
Give me a second, this guy's talking.
A true friend of nature.
Okay.
Or perhaps
What's a lunatic? Yeah, go figure.
Either way, I owe thanks. I am the
so when I played Nar, I gave him a negative trait. Because I always try to give every one of my characters some form of negative trait. To either overcome, or kind of give them a little bit of character, things of that nature. Nar's negative trait was he was racist against humans. He always referred to humans as idiot humans. And he was old.
As I was trying to tell you, there are no bullets left.
I played an old rat man. And he was a witch.
Yeah.
So he was kind of like out in the wilderness, never really dealt with people much. And a couple of the party members were friends of his because they weren't humans.
Right.
One party member, though, played a human brawler. So, and he was a young human brawler. So I always kept referring to him as the idiot human.
Right.
Eventually, towards the end of the game, he stopped calling him idiot human as much, but he still would call him that when he did something stupid.
Right.
But one person attempted to kill the brawler at one point and did like a fair amount of damage to him. The witch Nar turned towards that person, cursed him as hard as he could with his hexes, and basically went, he may be an idiot human, but he is my idiot human. Hands off.
Yeah.
Because he ended up seeing that brawler as like a son.
Right.
Like, he's dumb, but I'm going to educate him to not be dumb.
Uh-huh.
And so, that's where that role play came in really strongly. A lot of the players enjoyed it, things of that nature. I know in my early days, I went a little overboard, and that's where the dark side of the theater kid comes in.
Yeah, I think the dark side of the theater kid can very easily lead to the center of attention problem.
Yeah, center of attention problem, or the other thing is, it's what my character would do phrase.
Yeah. Yeah.
I remember in my early days, I said that quite a few times.
Yeah, it can do that or the spotlight hog, and neither is great.
Yeah, neither is great. Or you can make someone uncomfortable at the table.
Yep.
So that is the upside and downside of Theater Kid, and I do have the Theater Kid player type in me. So, how about you?
I mean, I am kind of the opposite of the theater kid. I do not ever care about, like, making I'm not going to give my character a negative thing to overcome in the course of the campaign. Just does not interest me. And that can be limiting, but I think I lean a little more towards Wizen, where it's just like, I like to think about the mechanics of the game. I'm going to play my character, but it's not a character that I expect to necessarily grow over the course of a game.
Right.
You're infected, aren't you?
Growing is not the goal. The goal is to have an interesting character that I want to play, and if they happen to make acquaintances or get into situations that do change them, I'm not necessarily averse to that, but I'm not hoping for it or planning for it.
Perhaps.
Yeah, and I mean, that makes sense. Everybody has their own way of doing characters.
Yeah.
You weren't speaking lightly
And there's very few ways I would label as completely wrong.
I've been studying these parasites for a while.
I don't want to ever say there is no wrong way, because there are wrong ways to make characters. Both on paper and in RP.
They're using them to exert control over the infected.
And I think you would agree with me on that, Gamma.
Yeah, I mean, basically, the goal is for everybody at the table to have fun. As long as your character is not getting in the way of that, you're good.
Yeah,
That's my view.
You're fairly good at that point. You have tackled pretty much the largest issue at most tables.
Yeah.
It's making sure everybody has fun.
Yeah, that's what we want everybody to get the chance to have fun.
Angeluman is leaving work. Woo! You're done. Freedom. Alright, so another player type I might want to mention. This is both in MMOs I've noticed more often, but I have... Oh, we're being raided! By Roscoe Rise! You're playing Party Animals. I want to play that game one day. That game's fun.
Welcome, traveler.
It looks fun. Kitchen B, thank you for joining the tavern. Grab yourself a mug of ale, pull up a chair, have fun, don't fireball my damn tavern. Did you do an Arsino Hall woo woo woo? Yes, I did. I do that on occasion. But as I was saying, this character player type is I see mostly in MMOs, but I have seen it in D&D, and it's created some wonderful situations in D&D I've seen in other games. I've never experienced it in a game, but I have this trait when it comes to at least MMOs. All right.
Okay.
And it is referred to jokingly as the Rambo character type in MMOs.
Okay.
And the premise of it is this. Even if the rest of the party goes down, you keep fighting and you make that damn creature work for it. Alright? The example I've done in an MMO was I was playing Star Wars The Old Republic. I was fighting a giant droid. Alright, Roscoe, you enjoy the lurk, man. And everybody in the group had died. And there was still 10% of the boss's health left. And I was the off tank. And I took biochem as one of my skills. Damn it, Wizen.
Well done, Wizen.
Well done. Yes. I took biochem as one of the skills. So I had reusable health packs, all kinds of crazy stuff under my inventory. And I fought that boss from 10% to dead. And it was a raid boss. That is the definition of the Rambo type player, which is everybody else is down, you are fighting it, and in an MMO people are just like, just wipe, we'll just try again, da 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 da. In a tabletop setting, it's multiple people are down, they're already thinking of new characters because they're assuming they're going to wipe, and your ass somehow pulls a victory out of fucking nowhere. Because you are too stubborn to give up.
Yeah.
I love those Rambo types in Final Fantasy XIV as a paladin warrior. Yeah, Rambo types are beautiful to watch. Because, like, as long as you understand that's what they're going for, and even if they don't pull it off, you're still like, this is cool that they at least tried. And sometimes you can actually learn new techniques, either in MMOs or tabletop, to do things as that kind of character. Because it's those moments where some really creative, freaky shit happens.
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, necessity, after all, is the mother of invention. Alright. Twitch integration. Did I not do Twitch integration on this? I apologize if I didn't. Let me double check. Oh wait, it's in the game. I think it's under options. This? No. Oh, they're adding it? Cool. That will be neat. Yeah, I don't see anything here. Oh, maybe it's under gameplay. Cross-saving, flying creatures. Oh yeah, there is right there. Twitch extension. Enable Twitch extension. Allow your party play. Allowing viewers to see your party view, track your quests, and vote on dialogue options.
Neat.
I want to play BG3. Angelwoman, if you ever get it, you're welcome to play with me. I love playing D&D games. It's like kind of my passion. It's a fun thing to do.
No, this is different.
Yeah, but either way, that is the Rambo type character. So, Gamera, how about you? Do you got another?
It's either not of this world or
I mean, do we consider a murder hobo a character type?
It is a negative character type, but yeah, a player type, but yes, it is.
Okay, so do you want me to do a positive type?
I mean, you can do a murder hobo negative.
I think, well, I guess I can do both the positive and negative aspects of the murder hobo coin. There is, the player who is focused on the combat aspects, which is a big part of D&D and other RPGs. Not all of them are combat focused, but many of them are. So there's nothing wrong per se with being a guy who really enjoys the combat. But when it sort of turns into, I want to fight literally everything I come across, including the NPCs. That's your murder hobo, basically imposing their will on the campaign by turning every encounter into a combat encounter. and it can be very frustrating for the GM to work with because it's like, well, I wanted some roleplay stuff. Or, well, I wanted to do this like just a different way. And so that can be very frustrating as a GM. Even if you know your players aren't all murder hobos, it kind of turns the whole party either into murder hoboing or having to oppose their own fellow player. So it can be tricky.
I would say the worst murder hobo I had was that assassin. Because he wanted to kill everything.
Not while this rot festers.
Yeah.
And Wyzen says, one worse than murder hobo, guard slayer. No, murder hobo is worse than guard slayer.
Yeah, murder hobo is not just going to slay guards, it's going to slay, like, oh, the blacksmith's not willing to give me a 90% discount? Guess I'll kill him.
Hey, guess what? 100% discount when he's dead.
Yeah. Hey, this +5 Vorpal sword is a coupon. Says 100% off everything in the store.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, come on, give me a break. Yeah, like, murder hobos are, in my opinion, some of the worst players out there.
It's frustrating. I honestly am not a big combat guy. For all that I like to do the tactical stuff and analyzing it, I kind of find it exhausting these days. I used to be more into the combat stuff, but I'd rather do puzzles and social and, you know, intellectual challenges than having to go, okay, we got to take down the caster so we can get to this guy, and it just, yeah, tires me out.
Right, what now?
Yeah, and
another step forward.
And also, murder hoboing is also very short-sighted. Because you're only doing it basically because you want to have a short-term fun of just absolutely just murdering something.
Yeah, and honestly, the thing is, if that's all you want out of a game, just go play a video game.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just, it's no fun. Like, go play like a friggin', you know, hack and slash game. I mean, shit. Diablo will give you exactly what you're looking for.
Exactly. But when you do that in like a traditional RPG, you're inflicting that on everyone else at the table, no matter what they might happen to want from the game. Which sucks.
Oh, yeah. And there are some players who are murder hobos who do that because they want to inflict it on everybody else in the game. That's how they get enjoyment, is forcing that on others.
A common element of a lot of these bad player types is just selfishness.
Yeah. And it's shitty, it's annoying, but it is what it is. And it's just like, why? Why is this so important to you to do this?
Because mommy didn't love them enough.
Apparently.
So they need to make it everyone else's problem.
Which is like, dude, like, my brother and Odin, chill the fuck out. Oh. How goes BG3? It's going okay. We're in the middle of a murdered goblin camp. So, where we're talking about murder hobos, the game is kind of forcing me to be a murder hobo. Because the only other option is I go back to the encampment I was trying to be good people with. And they, I have to kill all of them instead. And I'm not down with that idea.
Damn it.
Oh, as much as I would love to use that, I can't. Oh, yeah. Poisoner's Robe. Oh, that's actually good for me. Yep, I'll take that because I do poison damage every now and then. Alright. yeah, murder hobos are a problem, and definitely are a big issue there. I'd say another player type is the competitive player.
Mm-hmm.
And when I say the competitive player, I'm not talking about the players like seeing the whole game, like all the NPCs as competition. They see also their fellow players as competition.
Right.
And that
As I was
is
trying to
a
tell you, there are no bullets
that is a
left in this gun,
problem.
you see?
Mm-hmm.
Because the game's supposed to be a cooperative game,
Right.
and is just there is in no way you should be competing against your other players unless it's like for something for fun.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you and the other players agreed to that sort of thing in session 0, that's fine. But again, I find PvP exhausting. So, like, I don't really want players worried about having to figure out if they're going to get backstabbed by their fellow players. I feel like it detracts from most of the types of games that I would actually like to run.
Oh, that's
So it's just like
not
yeah.
so much what I'm referring to in this case. What I'm referring to is like players in competition with each other. Maybe like a friendly arm wrestling thing, or you know what I mean, like something not really that dangerous. Like you shouldn't be rolling attack rolls on each other.
Right.
But like what I'm talking about is like maybe a strength check against each other to see who wins an arm wrestling competition or something. Or
I mean, I guess my view on that would depend on how disruptive it was to the campaign.
well, like for instance, the example I saw that involved that was 2 strength-based characters in a game I was playing in. We were at camp, and so it was like a role-playing moment. We were all just kind of hanging out role-playing. You shouldn't have that and go to bed. Oh, my son, I swear. But no, we were having like a roleplay moment where we're all just kind of goofing off around the campfire. And the reason why the DM did this was because he didn't have anything planned next. We kind of we kind of got through something much faster than he expected.
Ah, that old chestnut, yeah.
Yeah, so he's like, let's have a roleplay moment. You guys are around a campfire, you're traveling to the next town. Talk, engage, you know, have fun. And we all were down with the idea because our players have been, you know, our characters have been adventuring with each other for like 6 months. So it's like, yeah, let's have a chat,
Right.
enjoy each other's company. And so the barbarian and the paladin got into an arm wrestling competition. And the barbarian made the joke. He goes, "No using your god to help you," and the paladin laughed at him and goes, "And no using your rage and your bestial spirits."
It's kind of like the dot of paint we kept sticking on the back of each other's head in a different campaign.
That was a different campaign. Yeah, we kept doing a common joke in the game where we kept putting this one little dot of paint on the back of each other, and like one person always had the dot.
Okay.
So there was that. But no, the arm wrestling competition, it was very fun. It was enjoyable. The party's Oracle. It was an Oracle was the class, because I remember it was a healing class, but it wasn't a cleric. The Oracle was the judge, and so he was having a blast with that. It was entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen competitions between intelligence characters where essentially they were playing chess.
Yeah.
And that was kind of fun because they were doing it all because they were role playing it while the several other party members were out shopping essentially, and they didn't need anything.
Yeah.
So they were like, yeah, they asked the DMs like, can we do this on the side? We'll make a few rolls, but like we won't try to interrupt your little shopping session. And the DM was like, yeah, sure, have at it. And that was kind of fun. It was like we all had a little blast with that. Oh boy, I'm about to find a body because I know that's coming.
Oh, my favorite character from Hades 1 returns in Hades 2. I didn't think he would. Oh, that's so good.
The sleepy guy or what?
No, no. You've encountered Sisyphus in your playthrough,
Yes.
right? And his friend, the Boldy?
Boldy, yes, I've encountered Boldy.
Well, have you gotten him to start talking to you yet, sort of?
No, I haven't got Boldy to talk to me yet.
Eventually, you will be able to dialogue Boldy. Now, he doesn't say anything back, mind you. He's a rock. But I apparently just unlocked that ability in Hades 2, because one of the places you go, you get to see Boldy. But usually there's something in the way, and now there's not. And Boldy has a moss-grown hair and beard, which is just fantastic. So I finally got to talk to him, which pleases me.
Papa Hollow goes, how many fireballs until Ruby notices the resident pyro is here? No, I've noticed your fireballs. Trust me, I've put the,
Still blocked, but should be easy.
how do I put it? I put the golems on, alert. Really? Okay. Screw that then. Okay, nothing dropped from that. Yes, let's use the power of Satan to basically break things. I'm totally using this power responsibly. And just yelled from the other rooms like, Ruby, what did we say about lying?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I want to back up. Because this could go badly. Alright. Oh, I spilled the alcohol. Alright, the more I watch the game, the more I want to play. No, trust me, Papa, it is a good game. I would highly recommend it. Hell, one of these days, as an idea for a celebration, I would like to honestly grab a few of my long-term viewers who have this game as well, and we just run through it together as a party.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no NPCs, no nothing, just us. And see what happens. See what crazy, stupid shit we get into.
Yeah.
Though, it does make me sad that this didn't do what, Divinity 2 Original Sin did. Which was a cool feature they had, which was you could DM a game in Divinity 2 Original Sin.
Yeah.
Papa, you do not need to play the previous games to play this one. They are, while there is a loose story to the world, none of the Baldur's Gates are tied to each other.
2 and 1 and 2 are.
1 and 2 are? Okay. I didn't think 1 and 2
Yeah.
were.
You play literally the same character.
Oh, okay. I only played 2. I never played Baldur's Gate 1.
Yeah, you don't have to, but if you have both of them installed, it will literally port your character over from the first one, load your previous save.
Okay.
And it shares a number of the NPCs as well.
Okay, that's fair. 3 doesn't, though. To my knowledge.
That's correct. Yeah, 3 has a significant time jump. I think there are 1 or 2 characters that appear in both. Like
Minsk, I know, is in this game.
Yeah.
Minsk is in this game, and Jahara is in this game.
Yeah, I thought those 2, and maybe there was a half-elf character that I thought might also make a reappearance, but I wasn't sure. Corin?
I think Corn is, but I'm not sure. The one that I'm kind of sad about, though, is the Drow doesn't make an appearance in this. From 2. Because she was an interesting character. Please tell me you're not involved. Are you? Yes, they're all involved over there. Oh, balls. Okay, so we'll hide here. See if anybody joins us over here.
Ah, crap! Oh, that That was a fatal mistake.
Oh, I failed at hiding, but the rogue didn't.
Oh.
This is gonna be fun. Alright. I could have sworn... Oh, I'm out of those. Oh, that's great. Let's see. Do I have a person over here that I can see? No, I can't see you. So we'll hold off. Oh, someone just did bless on the goblins. That's a problem. Alright. Yeah, there goes dead goblin. Here we go. Awesome. You got your tooth out. Awesome. About time. I know that was bothering you for a while, Angela. Let me think. Is there any other kind of relatively player type can we think of? I guess the one would be the special snowflake.
So that you're talking about like the attention hog, or
sort of. Not necessarily. They may not always want the attention, but they have to be a unique character.
Ah, okay, I gotcha.
Yeah, you picking up what I'm putting down?
I am.
Yeah, this is the type of character like the best example I've seen of it is I had a player who is no longer in my games now. He always had to be something weird. And the problem with that is he wasn't experienced enough to do weird well.
Uh-huh.
So it's just like, come on, dude. You can't do this. This is not going to work for you. You need to stick with something simpler.
I tend to see this kind of behavior, especially with first-time players. I have a player in my game right now who, whenever we start a new campaign, I can count on her to have a character concept that's like, this has absolutely nothing to do with the world I presented. This is basically an OC you already had in your head that you want to play. I'll do my best to accommodate them, but yeah.
Yeah, it's like, Jesus Christ. So, Papa goes, so I actually found the first Baldur's Gate. I might have to pick that up on Friday since I get paid. It's $20 on GOG.
Nice.
That's not bad. There's Baldur's Gate 1, Baldur's Gate 2, Shadows of Om, and then Baldur's Gate 3 here. All three games, to my knowledge, are multiplayer. I think you can do multiplayer on the first one, from what I heard.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure. It's been ages, so...
I just got knocked out.
Can't leave anyone stuck.
Not killed, but put to sleep. And now the cleric just woke me up and went, "You idiot, get up." Alright, while he's doing his turn, I will do the next spin.
Alright, we are at 8:30, so...
Alright, so hopefully not a big topic.
No. And I begin my fight against Kronos.
Go to walk. Which streamers would you like to play D&D with?
Ooh.
This was a topic that was requested a while ago, actually. I forget who requested it, but someone did. Alright. I am going to create two categories for myself. I am going to say famous streamers versus non-famous streamers. Okay?
Okay.
I feel like that's fair. Alright? For me, famous streamers, if I was to be able to play D&D with famous people / streamers, Travis Willingham is the top of my list.
Interesting.
The guy who plays Grog, he also played, fuck, I know his name in the second season. He played the Warlock in the second season. Oh, this is gonna drive me up a wall until I look it up. My brain's just going dumb. Give me a second. Season 2, he was... Let me see. Where is it? Grog was the season 1. Ford was season 2. Alright? I haven't seen any of his other work yet. But he is just entertaining. He is fun. I feel like I would have a great time with him as a player, or like a fellow player, or if I was the DM.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure, but I love a good dungeon crawler RPG. Baldur's Gate is not necessarily what I would call a dungeon crawler RPG. It is actually a full and complete D&D game.
Yeah.
So, if you're looking for a dungeon crawler RPG, that is not the place to go.
I mean, there are elements of that, certainly, but it is much more RP focused. That are choices and dialogue tree RP is what I mean.
Yeah.
Than like your Diablos or something like that.
I mean, other famous people I'd like to play with. I wouldn't mind playing with, I know his name. I keep forgetting names, and this is going to drive me up a wall. The head of Dimension 20.
Oh, Brennan?
Yeah, Brennan. I feel like he would be fun to play with, and I feel like I might frustrate the fuck out of him. I get that impression.
Maybe.
I'm not trying to pick strictly Critical Role people for famous people, because
right.
That has been one group I've seen, but it's not the only group. Another one I would like to play D&D with as a famous actor is Terry Crews.
Terry Crews seems like he would be fantastic fun.
Like, I've seen him play D&D, and it has been fucking glorious. I've loved it.
Yeah.
Never played it, so I didn't know what to classify it as. That's fine. We're letting you know so that way you don't end up picking up a game you don't enjoy. That's why we're warning you on that. So that's 3 players. I at least want to try to get 4, if not 5. Who else would I like to roleplay with as a famous person? I mean, there's Laura Bailey. She seems fun. And I feel like if I got Travis, I'd get her. So there's that. I really can't think of a good 5th for famous people. I mean, you got your famous list there, Gamera?
I mean, I don't know that I have to fill 5 famous people, but
I mean, you can just do a couple.
I think, yeah. So in terms of people who actually stream Dungeons and Dragons, I think that I'm less attached to any of the Critical Role folks just because I've only watched a very little bit of their stuff, though I have watched the animated adaptation of Legend of Vox Machina. Seems like a fun group, but it also seems like a very tight-knit group, and I just don't know what the vibes would be like. Now, I will say, I have seen... do you remember Whose Line Is It Anyway?
Yep.
Okay. One of the regular performers on there, Jeff Davis, is a friend of the guy who made Community, Dan Harmon. And Dan Harmon had an actual play series that was around for a while. And Jeff Davis was on that. And Jeff Davis seems like he would be a blast because like he's just a tremendous improv guy. I will also steal the Brennan Lee Mulligan answer just because I really identify with Brennan's like mindset, and I feel like that could be a really interesting gameplay. A lot of the people from Dimension 20 I would be very happy to have at my table. I think Abria Iyengar would be a tremendous person to play with. I think she's just got a really fun sense about her. Brennan's wife, Izzy Mulligan, or not, she's not Mulligan, Izzy Rowland, is also, kind of got that weird chaotic goblin energy. But if I had to pick one more out of the, regular streamers club, it would probably be Ross Bryant, who has not appeared on the Dimension 20 stuff, but he's on a lot of Dropout projects. But he has done actual plays with the Glass Cannon folks, and just phenomenal role player. He is just hypnotic to watch. They also have a bunch of other good folks on the Glass Cannon side. I would say that Seth Skorkowski would be really fun. I've seen him do actual plays, and I've seen him do talks and things. And he's of course got his own YouTube channel. If I were to pick like a normal celebrity who I know is a D&D gamer, Patton Oswalt. Absolutely Patton Oswalt. I think he's funny as hell.
Yeah, I feel like he'd play a fun character.
Yes. Trying to think if there's anybody else. There are a lot of streamers that are VTubers that have done like D&D type gaming that could be interesting. I think honestly most of them that I have watched have done D&D or some RPG session one time or another. I think that maybe Gura has a real, like I said, chaos goblin energy that it's always good in your group to have one person be the chaos goblin, because sometimes you just need someone who's going to instigate something happening. I'm trying to think if there's anybody else that comes to mind as a particularly strong choice. That's probably plenty of people from the famous gamer and famous but not gamer kind of thing.
Alright. So now I have my non-famous category. Alright?
Okay.
So these are streamers I personally know and I think could be fun in a game if they're willing to go for it. And yes, some of them are in here. Alright? So I'm going to point that out now. Angel Woman is one. I've known her for a while, and I feel like she could make an interesting character, especially with her experience with Final Fantasy. So Final Fantasy has a lot of good stories. I feel like she could pull from that and create some interesting characters. I've seen Papa Howell around quite a bit. He would make a probably good character. I would enjoy that quite a bit. I feel like he would do a good job. Let's see who else I have. I would like Melissa in Denial to do it. She tried once, just couldn't get into it. I wish I could get the right game to get her to do it. Because, she's an Egyptologist.
Yeah.
So, I feel like that could be really, really fun. And I would love to see what she accomplishes as an Egyptologist.
Yeah, honestly, her playing something like a Call of Cthulhu style game set in the 1920s, maybe to do with Egyptian tombs. Of course, the danger you run into there is that she knows more than you do as the GM, so it depends on how well she tolerates minor inaccuracies for the sake of story.
I mean, she plays a lot of Indiana Jones games.
I mean, that's fair. That's usually a good sign.
Yeah. So, like, I'm not too terribly worried about it. I feel like Angel Woman, not Angel Woman, sorry. Melissa, I already said Angel Woman. Melissa in Denial, I feel would be kind of cool. So there is that. Maybe Timmy and Skullick to get her out of her shell. And Timmy is that Chaos Goblin that we brought up earlier. I feel like I would have to tone him down some to do that, but it's not impossible.
Right.
So there is that. I'm seeing if there's anybody on my giant list of streamers on my my Discord. See if there's anybody else on here that I feel would be kind of cool to have. There's Little Laventy. She would be kind of neat because she's very wholesome. Things of that nature. Mezdopoy, I would like to see if I could get her into D&D. I feel like she would enjoy it, but I don't know what kind of player she would be.
Right.
And that's mostly the people I know on Discord for that.
Right.
So, I don't know, Gamera, if you know a lot of like smaller streamers or something.
I mean, to be fair, most of the smaller streamers that I do know, I have gamed with.
Yeah.
Including yourself.
Yeah.
And our mutual friend, Maisie, who is in one of my games now.
Papa says, funny story on that note, I've played a little bit of D&D as well as Vampire the Masquerade 10 years ago.
Ah, there you go.
Yep, Vampire the Masquerade. Oh boy, that game. That is... I have both good experiences with that game and terrible experiences with that game.
Yeah, that's fair.
I will say most of my good experiences have been on the tabletop side.
Mm-hmm.
And most of my negative experiences have been the live action side.
Yeah.
And
live action just seems to bring out the knobs.
I feel like it brings out the worst in some people.
Yeah.
And it's just so annoying.
Especially if you get one of those selfish people who wants to make it all about them. It's just so much worse than live action because they can take advantage of like the implicit social contract stuff where we don't want to call somebody out because we don't want to cause a problem in the group. And until somebody calls them out, we're not aware if anybody else feels the same as we do.
Right. For me, now here's a good question. Since Papa Hollow brought up Vampire the Masquerade, what is your favorite clan? Like, what clan do you get the most enjoyment playing in Vampire? And
I am a
I was gonna say, I'll query you first, Gamera, and you were already answering, so I'm sorry.
Yeah, I am a Tremere main.
Tremere,
Yes.
That's good. It's good to know.
I like playing wizards.
Yeah, that's to be expected. Alright, so I'm gonna ask you to see if you can guess what mine is, and then I'll be honest. Because I kind of guessed you're going to say either Tremere, or I could honestly see you as Tremere on the Cam side, La Sombra on the Sabat side.
I mean, if I were playing Sabat, La Sombra is an excellent choice.
Yeah.
That would probably be the Sabat side that most closely aligns with my natural tendencies. That said, I am almost always a good guy in RPGs. I don't like being mean to people. Even in video games where I'm playing by myself. So, yeah, I would always lean towards Camarilla, for sure.
Oh, yeah. So what would you guess would be my clan if I was going for it? And I have one for Cam and one for Sabat.
You don't strike me as... You don't strike me as a Ventru, nor as a Tremere. I'm trying to remember which side of the divide. Honestly, I was thinking maybe the Bruja?
Bruja? Alright, and that's, is that Cam and Sabat, or just Cam?
Because they can be both, right?
They can be both, that's true. But sometimes when you're playing good guy versus bad guy vampire, you might switch it up some.
That's true. I would say Bruja Camarilla.
Okay. Bruja, good guy.
Yeah. I'm trying to go through my mental list of the Sabbat clans. Oh, you're a Malk, aren't you?
On Sabbat?
Yeah, Malkavian.
Okay. Fun fact. On Cam's side, you were wrong on one aspect.
Okay.
I play a Ventru.
Okay.
I like sitting back and doing nothing. And
Okay.
literally just manipulating the influences to get everything done for me. I basically make everybody at the table or in the LARP assume I do nothing.
Okay.
And then I literally, at the end of the game, write a letter, essentially like a little one-piece note thing, hand it to the storyteller and said, this is what I'm doing for next week. And I fuck with people with that.
Okay.
That is my camp. If I do Sabbat, you are 100% right. I do Malkavian. I have been told, though, the primary Malk that I've built for the Sabbat, I am no longer allowed to play, not just by Anne, but also my sister, my brother-in-law, and about 7 other people.
Okay.
Not because I don't play well with others. Alright? That was not the problem. So my friend was a Malkavian, I was Shamir. Here's the problem. You remember how Malkavians all have to have some sort of a mental illness?
Right.
You ever hear the phrase, write what you know?
Yeah.
I know DID very well.
Yeah. I've heard about your DID Malk, if I recall correctly.
Right. So I play a DID Malk, and I scare the fuck out of people. Because I play it too accurately. It scares the shit out of people. Because I can switch, looking like I'm switching personalities at the drop of a hat.
Mm-hmm.
And that scared people. Yeah. Oh, wait, I didn't want to talk to this guy.
No, no. Please. Oh, don't hurt me.
Yeah, I'm here to help.
I need to get out of here. Thank you.
Yeah, there he goes. But yeah, so for the people who are in the audience, I played a Malkavian in 2 situations that stood out. The first time I played it was in a large LARP, like 75 plus people. All right, this is back when I lived in Pittsburgh the first time.
They need to know they're in danger.
I played a DID Malkavian with 3 personalities. One was each personality had their own mental illness. So the first one was a 12-year-old child, and that was physically what the character was. And he had fear of abandonment as his mental issue. He never wanted to be left alone, ever. The second one was the child was a Camarilla member. Like, he got acknowledged the whole shebang. The second personality also got acknowledged by the Camarilla, but tended to hang out with independents and anarchs. And that was a character... Gamera.
Mm-hmm.
We have a word that Automat is apparently attempting to want us to decide on it. It's okay, Papa. We're deciding on the word. All right. I'm going to say the word now, or do you want to just read it?
I've got it.
Okay. Do we agree or not that that word is okay in this context?
I would say it's okay in this context.
Okay. I wanted to make sure before I allowed it, because that was kind of on the border for me.
Yeah, I mean, if someone was using it as a slur, I certainly would object, but we can deal with that on an individual basis.
Excellent. All right. My friend was more of a schizo Malk. He was always doing crazy things, and the only way we could stop him was with a roll of newspaper. We'd hit him with it and instantly stop whatever he's doing and exclaim paper cut, and then he'd back off. So the second personality I had intellectualization, so it could not he had emotions, he just didn't could not process them effectively.
To the east.
And then the third personality was named Id. Id was a sadist, and was a bit of a malicious character in a lot of ways.
Id was a psychopath.
Yeah, Id was also a member of the Sabbat, and he did get initiated and everything like that. His initiation mark was on his heel. And what shocked me the most is I showed up in-game the first day with this character without shoes on. Like, I had shoes in my hand, but it was to show that the character was barefoot.
Yeah.
All right? And I had taken a washable marker, and I drew, the best I could, the symbol of the Sabbat on my heel.
Yeah.
Nobody checked my heel.
Yep.
Not a damn person in the entire 75-person group checked my heel.
They did pretty much strip search you, though.
Yeah, they did they pretty much searched the rest of the character entirely, but they didn't check his heel. I'm like, fuck.
Yeah.
Because the kid did not know this.
So that character had his fun, and there's a bunch of stories involving him, but we'll deal with that another time. The second time I played a Malk, I played with split personalities. And one was a proper Victorian man.
I was
with a group of adventurers. And the other was
we came here for an artifact.
Basically a Chaos Goblin.
The night song.
He wasn't evil, he was just he liked not being bored, essentially.
But they
ambushed me for chaos sake.
I didn't think a pack of
and once again, like, these characters just shocked people with what I did with them. So there is that. Now, Papa, my question is to you: what clan is your favorite? So while you're typing that up, I'm gonna go with a different question for me and Gamera for the last few minutes. All right.
I don't know.
Which clan do you like the least? Whether you've played it yourself or having to deal with someone who's played that clan and it literally just drives you up a fucking wall.
He said there was a hidden passage underneath the temple. The place was supposed to be...
I mean, I would say that the clan, it's not that the problem with the clan itself, but I've seen so many people play them badly.
I have to go.
Malkavians do give me the willies just because, like, there are people who play them to be, LOL random. There are people who play them to do really hurtful stereotypes about mental illness. And there are people who play them just to be, well, I can do whatever I want. I'm crazy. And so there are a lot of failure states for playing a Malkavian. So I think they have caused me the most frustration amongst the clans.
Yep. I'm waiting for you to reappear because it's...
Oh.
Alright, what?
Did I
Well, a little bit of
disappear?
time I liked playing a cative.
Oh, Anne loves playing a cative. That was her preferred clan.
Especially the ones that when you can make yourself look like another clan.
Yeah, excuse me a second. My Abby's having an issue here. And Baldur's Gate's taking forever to close for some reason. That's weird. The clan I've had the most issues with, hands down, has not been Malkavian. That has not been the worst clan for me. The worst clan for me, hands down, has been Tremere. And that is because of the LARPs in Morgantown. Because they do not play Tremere right. They play Tremere as practically Ventru with magic powers.
Mm-hmm.
Fair.
They do lots of money, lots of influence, lots of this, that, and the other thing. They want to constantly rule, and they want to be in charge. And the only thing they want to do, they essentially want to play a Ventrue that can just boil the blood of people.
Mm-hmm.
And it drives me up a fucking wall.
The Morgantown game's just a big ass circle jerk.
Yeah. And they don't play the Tremere like the Tremere traditionally shown in the books and everything, which, don't get me wrong, I understand that some people want to do something different and weird and whatever, but at the same time, if you are literally playing essentially another fucking clan, but you just put the Tremere skin on it, you're only doing it because you just want thaumaturgy.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all they wanted. And it drove me up a wall, and also at the same time, every Tremere in that group tended, with the exception of like 1 or 2 people that I've ever seen play it, were bullies. They used their thaumaturgy to bully all the other characters. Constantly. To the point where, like, they were in charge, they were the ones doing things, they were the ones making decisions. If you didn't agree with what they wanted to do, you got to do nothing, or you were the fucking cannon fodder.
Right.
I was playing a Ventrue in a game with a bunch of Tremere of these assholes. And they were treating me like I was basically like a traitor, even though I had just shown up and I just went, yeah, I'm part of the Ventrue clan. Here's my credentials from the other city, where, this is my sire, this is my sire. I had like 4 sires out.
Like, you had the paperwork.
Like, I did the full-on paperwork, and I was playing a 10th gen. So, like, we had paperwork all the way to the 6th gen vampire, but I never met him. I knew of him. I knew he existed. That was it.
Yeah.
And they still went like, oh, he could still be a member of the Sabbat. I'm like, you have a phone, right? Yeah. Call this fucking number. Watch what happens. And it drove me up a wall because the Tremere were like, oh, we don't like Ventrue in this city. Why? Because, they tend to be a little big for their britches. And I'm like, motherfucker, we're the heads of the Camarilla. What the fuck do you want?
Yeah.
Like,
and they used out-of-game knowledge in-game all the fucking time.
yeah, they metagamed all the time.
8:57 is the time, by the way. Oh, 8:58.
Of a different rate, a different clan, and can fake it well enough.
All right. So we're about to go raid out. So if you're one of my many tavern visitors, that is the raid message. If you're one of my tavern patrons, that is the raid message. One last one for the road, eh?
Yeah,
All right. So join us tomorrow for Wildcard Wednesday, where I will be playing Final Fantasy VIII. And it'll be...
I thought I spent the things to make you play Civ with me.
I didn't see that come up.
Did it go through?
I don't think it went through.
Oh.
You have to do it again. So apparently, Anne's going to be redeeming, probably tomorrow, the 5K channel points for me to play Civ with her. So it'll be... Papa Hollow, do you see my above message? So personally, I like Tremere. I've been fascinated with elemental magic. Yep, that's fair. All right. Anyway, we're going to be raiding someone named Chef Tennessee. He is playing Project Zomboid. All right.
Cool beans.
So join us tomorrow for Wildcard Wednesday. Please make sure you're taking care of yourselves mentally, physically. And I know you come to Ruby's Resplendent Tavern for the witty banter, but you stay for my fuck-ups. I hope to see you all tomorrow. Toodles.
Toodles.
Evil Ruby, Mad Hatter's life. On Twitch we sail, come join the dive with games and chat and tales untold. In Ruby's realm, let the fun unfold. Oh, Ruby streams with light.